Black Friday is over, and here is how we saved this brand's Black Friday disaster last minute. What is up, guys? In this video, I just want to go recap the Black Friday this year. And this year, we actually scaled one of our clients pretty hard. This client isn't your standard direct response client that is in health, wellness niche, beauty supplements or stuff like that. This is more of your like clothing, jewelry type of brands that is selling accessories, luxury brands, etc. And yeah, it's extremely interesting, and the approach is crazy. And what we were able to do is also extremely good. But there was one very big mistake that was made, and I just want to recap this, give you guys this to think about this. It's a pretty basic mistake, and it just it just tells us to always focus and master the basics and to not run for any kind of shiny objects and stuff like that, but just focus on the basics and don't fuck up the basics pretty much. So yeah, as you guys can see here, we up until almost the middle of the month, right? I think the day where we literally spotted the issue was around, I think, 12th of November. So right about here, I would say, here we had extreme issues and a lot of problems. And the thing is, yeah, to understand what happened, you need to understand what our offer was. So we pretty much had up to XY percent off, right? And we also added a free gift with pretty much, like free Q4 gift for anyone that purchases. Free gift. All right, and that was our offer that was communicated in the front end. And for education purposes, I'm going to call it 70% off. So, communicating up to 70% off on our ads and on our, pretty much on our Instagram, on our organic, on our Facebook ads. We are aggressively pushing ads these are just simple statics and simple videos that say, hey, we have up to 70% off plus free gifts or a free gift, a special free gift. And it's an aggressive offer, right? People are clicking through. People have been in the funnel for a long time. This is not your brand that where you pay like $50 or something. This is a high-end luxury brand where people spend like over $500 is our AOV pretty much. So people are considering the brand for a long time before they actually go ahead and buy. So as you can see, we started with up to 70% off plus free gift in the front end, but then people would click on the ad, right? People would click on the ad and then they go to the landing page. And on the landing page, you can see the products here. And we have like a lot of SKUs, right? It's a big luxury store. And none of the products has 70% off. That's the biggest issue that was made, by the C-level here. And yeah, as you can see, we had 10% off here, for example. Here we had 15% off. Here we had 15% off as well. Maybe somewhere we had 25% off, but never ever could someone find 50 or 70% off because we made it pretty much up to 70% off, but only like two SKUs from like, I don't know, like few hundred were actually reduced to 70% off, right? So obviously, the ads and the offer were not congruent and people weren't converting. Our CVR, our conversion rate pretty much tanked completely. So the biggest learning here for you guys is to have your ad, right? Ad and your landing page congruent, all right? Which pretty much means you need to communicate the same thing in the front end with your ads and also with your on your landing page, right? So how did we fix this and what has happened here on November 13th so that we were able to fix this? We pretty much decided to actually give a bigger discount. So we pretty much did reduce the price even further, and we also slightly increased the prices to anchor it a bit more, right? Which pretty much means that we if the percentage was like 15% off, we made it 30% off, 30% off, and the original price, let's say for example that was $150, wasn't $150 anymore, right? It went to 175, became 175, right? I hope that makes sense. So pretty much the customer has had even higher perceived discounted value, right? So let me put it like this. We had 50 actual 15% off became 30% off, and the original price was increased by another 10%, which makes this 30% off pretty much, which makes this 40% off, 40% off, so that the perceived value, it wasn't exactly matching the front end here. It wasn't exactly matching the front end, but it was much better, and it was much more congruent than before. So after we have implemented the fix on the front end, our communication has not changed. It was still up to 70% off, right? Plus the free gift. But then on the landing page itself, we had products, a lot of SKUs, like I told you, but they weren't 10, 15, 20% off anymore. They were more like 35, 45, 50, 60, and even some products were like 70% off. So pretty much the issue was the mismatch between the ad and the landing page. And as soon as we fixed that, this brand has had one of the best months in its history, especially when it comes to profits. These guys nailed around 225K profit in a single month. And comparing that, especially to the last Q4, it was a disaster because last year we at this brand had an agency in that was overspending on ads, right? And had pretty much the similar revenue, which like brought the profit to almost nothing. Like the profit was almost non-existent. And this year, especially, what we fixed is the profit. So as you can see on the 15th, we've had everything go upwards, and new customer cost per acquisition actually went down. New customer ROAS went up. Overall ROAS went up. So it was pretty much a very good learning curve for us with this brand, and for pretty much for everyone. Do not focus on any shiny objects. Just make sure that your offer is congruent, that you're not lying to your customers, that the thing that you promise, that's the exact same thing that people are going to get when they go and buy and shop with you, right? So don't overpromise like we did. We overpromised, but then first we under-delivered on the landing page. But here our offer was a lot much more congruent, and that's what made us do these crazy numbers here. And again, play with your pricing, depending on the brand, depending on the strategy. If you're doing drop shipping, again, obviously you can change pricing pretty fast, pretty regularly. And don't make any big shifts. All of this should be done before. Again, for this brand, we already had the Q4 strategy done in September. It was already set in stone. But the thing is, the execution wasn't there. And the percentages and the percentages off weren't set properly on the website. And that's the biggest issue here, because the founder actually wanted to save some money, save some margin. But right now he actually has made more profit than ever. As you can see here, it was historically one of the best months. Just to give you a bit more context, monthly we are doing about 100K in profit for this brand, and now we did like 230K in profit, which is obviously pretty awesome. Founder is happy, everyone is happy, and we're killing it. And that's it, guys. Just the takeaway from this video is focus on the basics. Fuck shiny object syndrome. If you want to work with me directly, please check out AntonioRakic.com. Hit me up on IG at RakicAntonio if you guys have any questions. And also, again, comment below on what kind of topics, what kind of videos should I make next. Thank you guys, and bye bye.